Um, Allow yourself to just be, Jerry, come here, please. Jerry, come lay down. Lay down. Thank you. Allow yourself to just feel your heart as you breathe into your heart. Kind of let the excitement energy just settle somewhat. Just maybe take a nice deep breath, allowing the breath to go into the belly. Take a nice exhale afterwards. Wow, what a big crowd you have here. Thank you all so much for being a part of what we have here today. It's so great to see all of you together as the group consciousness that we've been feeling over the last few days has really reached us. Everyone here has done so much work on themselves, bringing in the light, bringing in the love, working on whatever has been holding you back all this time. Recognize once again, as we have said in the last channel, that the new energies that are coming in from the galactic core are energies to support you, uplift you, bring you into a new space. For you've cleared out everything you possibly could have cleared. Yes, there might be some remnants of things, but the most part, the emotional attachments that were holding you back so strongly, as we can feel those cords have been lifted. And in their place, new energy is coming in, and you have found out the beauty and the childlike energies now that are coming in. You've heard a video about the little guys, the little electrons that are coming in, but yet we are going to share with you in today's journey a new understanding of what it is they actually hold. There are two other aspects, though, that we wish to go over first. And the first aspect we wish to go over is obstructions. The obstructions that keep you staying on, you might say, that tightrope that you keep walking through, questioning whether you're doing the right thing or the wrong thing. Understanding that there's a pull that comes back every once in a while to take you back into that obstruction, into that density that's a little bit harder to walk through. And you notice for yourself exactly that this obstruction, if there are just one or many, these obstructions really, really do not serve you in any way anymore. There might not have been as much awareness or clarity with them, but it seems like that has lifted, giving you better insight, understanding of what it is you wish to continue with and move forward. Your truth is becoming way more relevant than it used to be before. And it's a simple truth. It's a truth of the I Am Princess, which you have gone over already this weekend. We told you we would be here, and we listen in, and we support you and surround you. The buzzing you felt yesterday, and some of you today, is the buzzing of our energies coming into your body as you opened up and accepted the meditations that we were giving you, the voices that were coming through Tomei to you in so many different ways. He has spoken very little in this whole weekend. Most of the time, we have been speaking through him in various different voices to assist you in finding a deeper sense of who you are. These obstructions, again, are fading away. You might think in some respect, because you're not quite used to what's going on right now, the new challenges are not really challenges anymore. They're really not new obstructions, you might say, that you have to walk through. They're opportunities, they're tests that you are giving yourself. They're not from us or from anywhere in the universe. These are challenges that we turn into opportunities for yourself to see how far you've come, to see the beauty that you finally are projecting inwardly and holding within yourself and not giving yourself away anymore. This is not selfishness. This is a new self-respect and an honoring of the truth of who you are and for what is going to come. So be prepared, you might say, in some ways, of what might be coming around the corner. You all know that famous phrase that you like to use and others like to use in some respects. Well, I think I've got it now. Not quite. There is going to be more until you pass over to see us. There is much more that you can bring down upon the planet. There is much more that you can recognize here. You saw it in your nature walk the other day. There are things you saw that you would never have seen unless you were in a position that you placed yourselves in the meditations that you were doing. So you could clear away any blockages that might have been there. And so you could feel truly the vibrations that are present in the rocks and in the water, the trees and plants, and even insects that some of you saw. It's becoming more common. Nature is now beginning to reach out to you. And because you have chosen to go inward more in depth than ever before, the fear of nature is going to begin to drop. The animals that will be coming to you will be there to teach you lessons of fear. You can be afraid of them as you were in the past, or you can welcome them with your heart. They will feel the vibration from you of welcoming or of fear. The instantaneous moment that happens when you see them or when they show up can still present that fear to you. But you know now that it's not a part of that relationship that's being developed with that particular animal. And you can just take a really quick breath to step back and see what they're there to be with you on. This can include a lot of wild animals, of course. So just be prepared. It doesn't mean you have to walk up to them and take a ride. It just means to make eye contact. Or just as you make eye contact with each other and have that swift, quick communication with your eyes, bringing into the depth of the other that you are seeing and returning back to you, you can do the same thing with animals, especially some of the wilder animals that are out there. They are just as curious as you are. This is going to be the new way of the new earth. There is going to be a community, and the community continues to be all creatures, all souls. The earth is filled with them. And the earth herself has been changing so much, presenting to you a new way of feeling. For the older souls are the first that are beginning to feel the depth of this. So once again, don't be fooled into thinking that the obstructions are gone. They have just shifted into a new way of seeing them and feeling them. They are now more opportunity, not so much a blockage. You work through the blockage with the opportunity aspect. By doing this, you present yourself to it and be with the energy of it, which then quickly, in most cases, is going to teach you how to shift that energy of that opportunity to a higher frequency, thus allowing you to become more of that spiritual alchemist that you came down here to be. The second thing we wish to share with you is something that science is going to discover very soon. What you understood in some of the YouTubes that you have watched this weekend, you came to understand that the electrons have crowns and little wings. They buzz about looking for places to help you, like little bots, as you've called them. Also bringing to you a sense of childlike energy. Those electrons come from the galactic core, straight from source, to assist you in your healings of every part of you, from your physical, mental, and emotional bodies to your spiritual, energetic bodies, even all the way up to your I Am presence. So now you're aware of that kind of, let's say, feeling or sensation within your body and bringing you a smile to your face or laughter as you allow these energies to come in you, into your heart space, and then enhance from there to search out within the various bodies that you hold the healing aspects, which, as you know now, is a choice that you're making, that you're feeling and you're sensing to heal yourself, and thus be able to project later on a sense of energy to assist others to have them look at themselves differently as well. But what we're here to tell you is that there's even more that is going to be discovered that will give you verification of even more of a depth of what's going on. In some respect, you have heard before that there is an infinite number of small and an infinite number of large. So in some respects, it never ends, how small things get and how big things get. Part of the infinite small is that within the electrons, and some of the scientists have already labeled this, but unfortunately, when they label something, it kind of puts a limitation on whatever they're labeling. They kind of define it, and they don't see the incredible infinite qualities that even these electrons have, that they really are somewhat of a wave or vortex within themselves. Some, as you have experienced this weekend, have different colors. What they have inside of them is what are called quarks. These are particles that just quite haven't been found yet, but there's a theory that they might exist, and we're here to tell you they do exist. Not necessarily in the definitions that the scientists are going to come up with, but as photons are nothing but light, these are the highest, precious, purest forms of light. You might say they're actually the driving force for the little bots. They're the driving force that's inside the electrons. Now, it would be fun if we could put little crowns and little wings on them too for you. But the electrons have already decided to do that for themselves. At a future channel, they will have different qualities, if you will, so that you can have possibly a visualization for yourself of what these might appear like to you. When the quarks that are inside the electrons, obviously traveling with them, going into your physical body, let's say, and they're searching out, this is the electrons, as you know, are searching out the possibilities of where there is less energy, more energy, almost like chi energy, and your acupuncture needles, how that is attempted to balance off the energetic qualities of the body where there's less and there's more, and to bring in more of a balance between the two. The electrons are searching, the little guys are searching for areas of healing. Those areas of healing are very similar to the way Chinese medicine works. They're searching out where something is over and something is under. And they place themselves there, awaiting more company to come to assist them in the healing process to begin, which, as you know, you could feel as things were developing for you the last few days. Once they find these spots, and once the healing begins with the pink bots and the gold bots, if we want to use that as a phrase from now on, once that structure has been completed, and all those colors and vibrations and octaves and sounds and so on that are there that provide the healing process to continue to take place after you take attention off of those areas, what's left behind are the quarks. They leave the electron, the electrons leave the body, as you know, and they do go back to be recharged. They do go back to source because they don't die. They just go back to find a higher frequency once again that they were, so they can continue their journey to assist others as well as yourself. But what's left behind is the quark, and the quark is the purest, highest form of light. And it's just there to remind that cell, because we were talking physically, to remind that cell of its benevolence. You've heard that word before, and you know that the cells have a sense of benevolence. It's not necessarily that they think, but they feel. And because they feel, they can feel source, just as you feel source. So this is left behind for what we have phrased for you in the beginning of this workshop this weekend. They are left behind to help the cell remember. Remember their truth that has been hidden, because there is a blockage just within that cell alone. It has taken on some kind of blockage that you have presented to yourself. You have asked that blockage to come in. And it could be any number of things. It could be any kind of stresses, any kind of fear, any kind of emotional block you might have brought in. That cell has taken on and has captured that sensation or feeling, and now has a blockage within itself. So just as you have to, in your own way as a master, start recognizing and becoming aware of the things that you accept into your life, into your circle, the cell has to do the same thing. The earth is bigger than you. The electron is smaller than you. But you're both. As you walk this planet, the earth is identically walking through the same thing you're walking through. The cell is identically walking through the same thing you're walking through. This is all done as an assistance. But as you know now, you must ask for it. It's not important that you come down and you scientifically start asking for things that are now being shown to you to verify that these things are happening for you. It's enough for you to just breathe. When you breathe from an authentic place of the heart, it automatically takes place. Some of you even experienced the infinity breath this weekend, where it just automatically went into autopilot, as you said. And you could feel it just going around and around and around without you having to place your attention to it. Once you build up enough trust and enough faith that this truly is real for you, that you are way more than anything that you could ever comprehend. And each one of you singly, not through separation, but singly, uniquely do this, uniquely know this. But all these tools are here for everyone. From the darkest person on the planet to the highest, lightest person on the planet. And nobody can escape the continued work that has to take place. For as you know, if they do, arrogance comes in. And it pulls you back. Humility is one of the greatest gifts you can give yourself as you master who you are. To know there's always a sense of learning, always, until your last breath. Some of the things that we have given Tomei to show you this weekend, he knew nothing about until he chose to have this workshop. And we dropped these things in his lap. Not that he did not know who Zakabush was. He already knew who that was, but he had not been listening to him for months. Within the next day, we sent him that video through his phone, which was a bit fun, so that all of you can participate in the beauty of what he heard in the voice that was in that video. And aren't you quite astounded by what you heard? That one individual has taken himself so far beyond anything you probably could look at yourself at and saying, wow, I am so far behind this guy. But you're not, because you hold all the stuff he talked about. Once again, all he's doing is helping you remember. Some of you cried at what you listened to. Not because you were sad, but it was how so beautiful. Just the beauty that he shared with that person that was there, but yet he even spoke to you. You had those same qualities. And he never once said that he was finished. All these things that he had put together to assist the planet and to assist those and serve those that he came across. And he still is working on himself. He still isn't quite there yet. There's still more to do. He had given himself away to so many of those projects that he had shared with you that he had lost himself once again. Even though he knew all the information, there's still steps to be taken, if you will, for him to deepen his own process to get closer to the light. to go back home, to allow his I Am Presence to really, really be a driving factor in this life, right now, in this present moment. So be aware of the fact there is going to be some new science that's going to come forward eventually. But you kind of have that heads up right now. Our suggestion here is that you allow yourself, when you begin to meditate once again, especially with the healing meditations that you have learned this weekend, if you use them once again, to take that next step. That next step of possibly feeling that something has been left behind. Something is different about me. Can't quite put my finger on it. Not quite sure, but something shifted. And some of you get lost in that idea that, yeah, I'm buzzing. This was kind of crazy and I can't really put myself back together for a while because things are kind of imbalanced with all the energies that are coming through. Yes, these things happen. And after all that's finished, and you just kind of sit down and take a breath, our suggestion here is that you will feel something different. And once you do, and this is our next principle to speak about, once you feel that ever so subtle difference in something within you, you bring attention to it. It's almost as if you are in gratitude in that special moment, because all it's looking for, it's not looking for any kind of upliftment or to be noticed in some way, anything like that, because it's already pure. It wants you to feel it. That's all. You will take it past that. Once that door opens, you will begin to feel a new sense of energy coming into your system. It opens up the doors to all this new energy we've shared with you that's coming down to support you. In some respects, some of you felt it in your body differently, of course, because certain areas of your body are denser, lighter than other people's bodies that are denser and lighter in other areas. So some of you might have had headaches, some of you had backaches, some of you might have felt differently as the stuff left you, and so on and so forth. That's okay. You're getting your body prepared to receive it on an automatic basis. Because what Tomei has shared with some before you and shared with you this weekend, all you have to do is take one breath with awareness, with a knowing, one breath. And how many times do you breathe during the day? How many breaths do you take? Yet how many breaths are you conscious of? How do you know you're taking a breath that is making a difference, not only in your physical body, but in all ways? So feeling is very, very important. And of course, we're not talking about the definition of feeling. We're talking about sensual feeling, about intimacy with yourself, going to those places where the senses really are strong within your heart, in your nervous system, but then also energetically outside your physical body, and allowing the energies of the outside of the physical bodies to become attuned to this frequencies that are coming in, but a kind of a knowing that as the electrons are starting to come into your heart, they have to pass through that energetic field that you create. How wonderful it might be for you to be conscious of that, you know? To be your own healer, to know that truth that's always been there. To know in some way you're going to put the medical community out of business. They'll have nobody to serve. You'll also live longer, as you know. You'll find more space within yourself to experience new things outside yourself. Your letting go process, calling it that, becomes automatic, almost instantaneous. We have talked to you before about the reason you can't remember anything anymore is because you're starting to move into the new earth, the new energies. There is no past anymore. Some of you, it's like there's no memory of what you did the last hour. That tells you how close you are. We're trying to say to you, it is not a physical matter anymore. It is something that's going to automatically happen to you so you can be more into the present moment, so you can be able to feel more, so you can be able to see and sense the opportunities in front of you, which allows you also to bring in the bots, if you will, to bring in the quarks, to have everything continue to heal almost automatically. You know the physiology of all this. The plasticities that were talked to you about this weekend, you know about all of them now. There is no question, unless you have doubt, if you just don't want to believe the truth that even science has given you now, that you've been doing all along, and now you have something to show you that it's true. And it's not some ascended master that's come down to tell you. It's actually some of your own people that are telling you you're right. Not that you have to be, but that all that you've been doing, all that you've been doing to serve yourself actually is happening. This is the new truth, if you will. This is the new age. This is what you've been waiting for. Not for some alien to come down and say, okay, we're here to save you. You will save yourself. The ascension is the ascension, you might say, here. You are ascending into a truth you already have. It's been blocked. And now you have the choice to free yourself constantly. Every aspect and experience that you will have out there, which I guess you could judge if you wanted to, doesn't make any sense anymore. But if you saw them as bad or good, it doesn't matter anymore. They're all opportunities. There is no bad, there is no good. There's just is. There just is experience. The heart begins to grow so fast and so strong as you begin to accept this part of you that's always been there, but yet seems new. Once again, we are going to be here with you always. We are not going anywhere anymore. You can feel us around you anytime you wish, any second you wish to just feel us. We are already there. You might not get the message you want to hear, but the message will be out of a pureness, a high pureness, just like the quarks that are coming along with the box. It's a vibration beyond your comprehension, but they're small, even though they hold the whole universe within them. They only feed you what you can handle that will assist you to continue to transmute who you truly are. This is the journey. This is why you're here. Each one of you will do it differently. And as you come together in a group like you have this week, so beautifully, so wonderful, the energy you've already created in this place, just in a few days, has changed the entire United States. The whole country has changed because of the energies coming from here. You hold within you an incredible amount of pure electronic energy that goes out and projects out automatically because it is pure. It touches all reaches. It doesn't mean it's going to change everything. It just means it has been implanted there. And as souls find out the feelings that you are finding out, they're able to take it and use it to help support themselves. Sometimes consciously, sometimes not. But know within you, you hold an enormous, enormous amount of energy. Once again, we are honored to be with you. So honored. What you have created here over this last 20 years has been incredible. The people you all have touched in all the endeavors that you have had, even though you don't know it, are millions of souls. And not only these millions of souls have been touched, but you have changed the universe as well. It reaches to the far reaches of the universe. It touches us as well. And we so love to help you. Take a few deep breaths, allow yourself to slowly work your way back. You might want to ground yourself in some way, moving some body parts just to feel your body where you're at. So Andrea and Sophia, of course, if you want to speak, just unmute yourselves when you're ready. So if anybody is kind of driven to speak, may want to share anything, that would be awesome. Don't be embarrassed or anything like that. Share. We're all kind of weird here. Does anybody wish to share right now? Mhm. Yeah.
The underlying theme keeps coming back to the beginning. We have a choice.
Yeah. Mhm.
It's there, always has been. You just have to take advantage of the opportunity. Chance. We feel ourselves and help ourselves in each other. The theme has been kind of so far the whole week.
Yeah. So Rick was just saying, you guys, that kind of felt like that it's just kind of a remembrance of the choices that we make. We've been talking about this kind of through the weekend anyway. That we have the choice, and I don't know what else. I kind of buzzed myself right now.
Yeah.
Okay. If somebody wants to speak, so these guys can hear, if you wouldn't mind, if you can get up and kind of be right next to me or whatever, so they can hear you and what you want to share.
Thank you, because it is hard to hear online, or they could be by Dane's computer, either way.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. Okay. Thanks.
Mhm.
I'm kind of buzzed right now, really a lot. And when they were explaining the quirks, it was just overwhelming. The I can feel them in my body right now. It's really, it's way more than what we were experiencing last 2 days. So it's pretty amazing, actually, with all that. So I can feel it from my toes all the way up top of my head. It's like there's no like specific spot they're hanging out. It's like they're just everywhere. So
I got the visual with the parts that because it's the highest form of light, that what vibration you intend it to be.
Okay.
So as it comes in through the electron, it's the visual that I got, that because it's of the highest, it can adjust the vibration to be whatever.
Amy was saying that she had a vision or a feeling that the quarks, since they're their highest vibration there can be, that it can be whatever vibration you want it to be,
What you
What-
intend with that.
what you intend with the higher to heal. Or
Which is
use
'cause it's
in
coming through
whatever
the
way.
heart, so whatever your intention.
Right, whatever your intention is coming through the heart, it has a sense of being at that vibration. So again, it's a choice of how you wish to be with it, which then really serves you in the highest way, I guess. In that way. Yeah. Okay. Can you, Dane?
It may echo.
Should I turn mine off? Should I mute it?
You could mute yours.
All right, I'll mute.
Okay.
Well, this whole week,
Oh, you could turn your volume off.
The joys of Zoom.
That's the electron laugh. It's just my quark speaking.
Yeah. And you got to hear 3 bells.
Too funny.
Yeah. I don't.
Here.
You just have to, I think, mute your computer, or like, so there's no sense.
Right.
Say it. Oh, okay. Yeah.
This has been a kind of a culmination and validation of everything this week, as well as an extension. But it has, for me, removed so many doubts I've had. It's like I've been standing at the threshold. Okay. And I've had 101,000 reasons to take the step across. In a certain sense, never know how to do it right. And it's like, oh my God, I mean, it's been it's propelled me forward so much. And I mean, everything you encapsulated here and that came through was such an affirmation, validation. I'm so grateful. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'll give you an extra. Anybody else wanna? Yeah. you can.
Have a feeling of tying into what Zach Bush was talking about, where we're disappearing and reappearing every millionth of a second, and that's like a quantum physics like principle that's now proven. And so just with all the discussion, so much of the weekend has been that buzzing that it's like literally every millionth of a second we are being manifested isn't the right word, but we are appearing in this realm anew. And just that that feeling of that, and then that the choice of in every single moment, what are we reappearing as? And we're so many things from the past, and talked about the releasing of the memories and how you might not even remember. It's like sort of none of that matters, and every moment is an opportunity to reappear. And anything before was before, and you just sort of take the lessons from that, but now with a new choice. But yeah, just all the discussion of the smallest level of us is really cool.
Yeah.
So I'll just mention at the beginning, I felt like just energy raining down around me. And then the way you started talking about how it's more important than ever to stand in our truth, how there's going to be temptations that pull us back. And then all the stuff about the animals, I was like, you are talking to me, and like my immediate sphere and everything we've been working with this past week, especially. And I just felt like you were directly talking to me. So that was really cool.
Nice.
Yeah. Rathy.
Yeah, I'll just say the animals appear for me and for us so much, and they're assisting us with their energy and with their wisdom, and very honored and very blessed to have them come to us to assist us.
Any of the new people want to say anything?
I can just say that it's just been
It was pure joy to be here and very relaxing and very opening in many of the things that you've talked about. I've had the very blessed opportunity to spend 2 weeks with Brandon and Sophia, so many of the things that came through are the things that we've been pondering, discussing and sharing. So it was as Bill said, an affirmation of what we've been going through. So I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
From everything that we've done and everything that we've heard. It just felt wonderful, the whole channel.
Yeah, and the piece about fear about nature is really
Yes.
interesting and a lot to ponder there. Yeah.
Almost like instead of walking away from nature, to walk towards it,
Yes.
whatever, how do you say that?
Yeah, and to use any fear as a teacher, I think is what you said. So just 3 participants.
Andrea lost internet, so she texted me. She said she'll catch the recording.
Oh, cool, okay. Diane, you got anything you wanna say?
I just think once again, affirmation, affirming everything that we did this weekend.
Okay.
I love the way when they talk to me, that it's like not your voice. I basically do it. It's like, like they're here, you know what I mean? I mean, it's just, yeah.
I totally know what you mean.
Yeah, it's just, I find that. How you, it has to be somebody else, but I don't know how you would, you know, just like as Zach Bush said, I don't know how he came through with all that information.
Yeah.
Such a correlating way, and yet, you know, you wonder if it is similar or it's you.
Yeah, it's like there's no even, you know, maybe some picture of course and shit.
Yeah.
That's kind of, well, I think it's all this effective. Whoa.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
who or what was speaking? You know?
It was still just the whole range of the. Sometimes it's like, you know, it's like, that's what's really good. Like different energies, miscellaneous or something. Very small.
Yeah.
Not very small.
I was curious if Michael was gonna make things. Yeah. But you know what I mean. I don't know your shit, but like that. I just like the word benevolence. That's just good.
It's so cool. I mean, I got to see it. So I was- Take a picture of that. Holy word. Can you hear me, Sophia? Oh, can you hear me now?
I can hear you, but I couldn't hear like the past like 3 minutes, 3 to 5 minutes of
Oh,
conversation.
okay.
It's
So
okay.
I found what it was interesting. I was telling them was they always kind of show me a video kind of what's going on. So when
Okay.
they were talking about the cork and they're explaining the whole thing, I'm watching it happen right in front of me. So it's like they have it's like seeing a cell divide. You know, you
Okay.
can see videos of that, you know. I'm seeing the electron go into the cell, and then just before the electron finally leaves, it's done its whatever it was doing. It kind of leaves like what looks like a little light worm. It kind of comes out and just it's right there. And then boom, the whole thing lights up.
Okay, cool.
And it just stays there. It doesn't, you know, nothing happens. I guess what I find, I guess they were saying they were going to come back, I think, and give us more information at some point, right? Yeah, okay. Because I got a question. The question I've got is like, okay, what happens if I let stress come into my life again?
What's your question?
If I would let stress come into my life again, what happens to that cell? Because I'm taking for granted that when that light is or quark, whatever is put in there, decides to be in there. If I let stress come in, then it's like you're starting to chop off the telomeres, right? I'm thinking about the DNA thing. So you're kind of chopping off those telomeres, and so now it's aging. The cell is aging.
The cells disappear.
I don't think so. I think they're regenerating. Yeah, yeah. So it's kind of like I'm just, you know, all of a sudden I'm just sitting here. Guess I'm in my head too much, but it's just a question I have about, you know, what if I get angry, if I get judgmental, what happens?
When you go around stressing your joints and stuff like that.
I'm thinking emotional stress. Yeah, I'm thinking more like that.
But is that different than, you know, there's the emotional stress of releasing something being in your heart. being
Yeah,
released
Great. I mean, great questions,
versus,
right?
like, releasing or not releasing. experiencing attachment.
Yeah. This is great because it opens up a whole new.
It seems like there's
It's like, oh man, here we go. Yeah,
for me, there's
I love it. This, yeah. Yeah.
But if everything was coming and going in millions of a second, then wouldn't it just be gone and then back again in a new form?
I don't know.
Whatever it is at that moment.
My computer keeps flashing. I don't know. Didn't they say something about?
Yeah.
Oh, aren't you? Isn't that wonderful? Come back from me. Isn't that like really?
And also too, related to that is like Zach Bush was talking about
Can you pivot it?
Yeah.
the water retaining like the cellular memory of the water. And you know, kind of like the experiments, but they'd be probably dividing with that imprint, that vibrational signature still intact until that stress or that vibration, I guess, is changed, whether it's through walking through emotional attachment, whatever it is, so that it's like there seems that there's a cellular memory that will keep reimprinting that cellular memory, even though it is so rapidly reappearing and disappearing, or disappearing and reappearing. That until kind of like what he was saying, where all of when he was doing the meditation with the feet and not being able to, defeat feeling the divine source, because there's this huge unprocessed grief that all of that energy is like, oh, I can't. And then your liver is dividing up. It's still the unprocessed grief or whatever it might be.
I love this. This is great. You do this tomorrow? Yeah. Comanches.
If everything is
If you want to.
vibration.
Yeah.
Okay. And what they know is that electrons are simply vibrational vortices. They're not physical things spinning around.
They don't have crowns?
They're
Oh, man, it's just like took everything out of me.
imitation crowns. It's the illusion of crownedness or something, okay? But if everything is vibrating, when you get down to the quantum level, which is so microscopic, it is unimaginable,
Oh, right.
because it is about at 10 to the minus 39th of power or something like
Yeah,
that.
it's crazy.
Okay, yeah, I mean, it's like putting a million zeros in front of the one.
Yeah.
At that level, I would think to exist, you'd have to be vibrating at an astonishing rate for it to be what? If they even exist, okay, for it to exist.
Mhm.
All right, so thinking about elevating things to higher and higher and higher frequencies is about getting down deeper and deeper and deeper into the core of the essence of the energy of it.
Yeah.
Okay,
The only thing I mean, I understand what you're saying, but it's like. Sophia, I'm being told what to do.
Yeah.
What do I do with that, huh?
Accept it, receive it well.
Accept it. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Understanding all that, I get it, but it's just, to me, I'm trying to keep it simple for myself. And it's just like, okay, can you just tell me what happens if I bring judgment into my body? That's all I want to know. What happens to that? And can I feel it? Can I feel it change and shift right away? Again, maybe a follow-up to even that is like, feel it shift right away. Can I heal it then? Right? Can I just bring in another light one into the situation and just automatically cancel that out? Or will it automatically happen? There was something about automatic opportunities or something like that. That was,
think of the new thing, the new negative thing. Somebody striking the bell. Now, it depends on how hard they strike it, as for how long that bell is going to resonate.
Mhm.
But as soon as you put a damper on the bell's going to stop there.
Mhm.
So projecting a complementary frequency on it brings it to neutral.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
But what is the damper? Okay.
The new comes in.
Mhm.
Oh,
And it's kind of like the higher frequency and the lower frequency gets melded into the higher frequency. It doesn't die, it just gets melded in.
Well, they said it's slight changes and, you know.
I remember that. And finding the balance. Yeah. And when it's automatic, I guess you just already, you've, yeah, trust and have faith. Trust in the house, yeah. Right. No, not for me, what are you talking about? Yeah, okay, that helps too.
Was that part of the conversation too?
I don't remember. Did you hear it? Did you hear it? I mean, I have to listen to it again, but. I like that once we kind of adapt some of this stuff, it just becomes automatic. I guess. Yeah, everything else does, but maybe that's just, quit trying to think so much about it. Just let it be. Yeah. That's right. It's in the past. Sorry.
I really liked Bill's analogy. It reminded me of going back, but when we did the Cryon workshop on DNA,
Yeah.
and it talked, I thought it did, it's going way back, but about all of the cells, almost that like singing vibratory concept of 70 trillion cells of DNA, all responding in sync to whatever is coming in. So in that same thing, like you hit that symbolic bell, whatever that is, if that's a feeling of gratitude, if that's anger and judgment, and it's like that vibratory pattern is then, okay, that's what we're resonating with for the moment, depending on how grippy that is.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's a really cool analogy to think of it that way.
What do you mean by grippy?
Like the strength, like the kind of the strength of that emotional vibration. If it's just something like, ah, crap, I lost this and I got a little angry, versus you have a superheated
Start
thing
punching.
that brings up all this stuff. And so then it's like this, jackhammer, the bell has been rang, all your cells are like, oh, we gotta get ready to go. Versus like, ah, shit, I lost the cord. Big deal.
What about the difference then between like a conscious experience of an emotion versus an unconscious like attachment to it? Like the charge is perhaps very different. Like when you're triggered into, an old wound and you're watching it and you're holding yourself in this nurturing space and allowing it to take place, consciousness is present there versus a trigger where that isn't happening, and is the charge different?
Yeah.
Well,
which So-
means that the damper
Yeah,
is never
exactly.
put on the reverberation.
Yeah.
It is really on that. It's coming by the way. Given the intensity of what I did. Yeah, your consciousness you're talking about is that damping effect. So this casts out impact.
Yeah.
It brings it down.
I love that. It's a great analogy.
So when Brenda brought in the Chinese medicine part, what flashed through my brain is that you're grounded, connected to the heavens, balanced and masculine and feminine with a heart center. And when you're there, all these things move through you. But if you're not there, then they may get stuck in you and resonate a little longer. And that's why I asked about the word grip, because they may have more of a grip on you if you're not in that balance that Chinese medicine, speaks about.
Yeah.
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 Happy, nice discussion. Anything you'd like to add?
I feel grateful for seeing all of your beautiful faces again, and that the energy that's here present. I could feel your heart presence, Tomei, when you started channeling, and the heart presence in the room. So that was quite palpable. And yeah, I feel like it's hard to hear in the room, but I heard some of the discussions, and yeah, letting things run through you instead of getting stuck in them is definitely the way, and releasing and practicing with that is always a thing. So I feel like my understanding of what you're talking about is it like light quotient, like what frequency you're holding, what vibration you're holding, and how much light you're holding. Is that essentially what we're talking about?
Yeah, kind of. And but what happens when you're not? Like what happens when you allow that to come in? And if you've been working with the quarks, as we were kind of looking at, that what happens to them if I do allow, I say, a lower density to come in for whatever reason? Do they leave? If they're a highest, purest thing, why wouldn't they just be there to help bring the balance back? And so they're kind of talking about that consciousness can balance that out. Bill was talking about more of like a damper on a bell, that it kind of, the damper would be the consciousness, and it would kind of neutralize whatever's there. So depending upon the way that, as I was listening to it just now, it's kind of like what I was thinking was that the awareness, then it's about the awareness in consciousness. How much are you aware? Are you very cued into the aspects of yourself, the opportunities that are present and what they feel like and so on, and what are you allowing yourself to be with and so on? I don't know.
That makes sense. Yeah.
We'll find out later, I guess, because I want to do it tonight. So maybe we'll get everybody back tonight at midnight or something like that. We'll do it under the stars. Maybe we'll get a little bit more direct connection. But yeah. So. All right. Well, thank you so much for being here. It's great seeing you. You look great.
Well, thank you. It's great to be here. Thank
Yeah.
you for having this. And sorry I couldn't be there in person, but yay
Yeah.
for technology.
Yeah, yay for technology. Yeah. All right, Carol. Good seeing you
Okay.
again.
You too.
See
Love
ya.
you guys. Bye.
Love you. Yeah.
Bye.